call the meeting to order, and we'll start it off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Andrew, I did start 1 minute early.
I know. It's 5:15.
Well, let's try to be here by 5:15.
Coming right from basketball.
Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see, now we will go on to the approval of the agenda. So do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move that.
Nick,
Support.
Dawn, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Next, we will go on to the teaching and learning feature.
I'd like to just kick this right off and ask Mr. Sexton to come up and say a few words. I know there's some students here. I told them that we would try to get them out at a reasonable time so they can get ready for the one last exam tomorrow. But it's manufacturing week, or it was, so I'd like to have Chad come up and talk a little bit about what they're doing with some of the CTE work.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to share tonight. One of my passions that I get to pursue at Hudsonville High School is working in the area of development with our students. One of the ways that we do that is to participate in different programming that the local area has. One of those is Discover Manufacturing Week. It's put on through the Michigan Works and numerous county agencies, Ottawa County, Kent County, Allegan County. And we participated for several years. We've toured in past years Royal Technologies and Mueller Prince over the years. And so this year we had an opportunity to work with Gentex Corporation. And so we were able to bring a group of 28, my numbers were right, I think 28 of us went out there. So we want to share a little bit about our experiences for these students. They willingly volunteered. I asked if anybody would be willing to come up and share, and they said absolutely. And so I'm excited to let them introduce themselves to you. On my end, I had all three in class, and they're outstanding young people, and so I'm excited to have them be able to participate here. While they're sharing, I'm just going to scroll through a few slides. I'll show some pictures of what we took part in.
My name's Isaiah Gillette. I'm Owen Kyle.
I'm Kate Rowland.
First, we'd like to thank Mr. Seitzma, Mr. Beal, Ms. Jordan, and Gentex, as well as Hudsonville for the opportunity. So one of the things that I saw and noticed when we were there was they took us through the process of how one mirror was made and all the components that were put into it, the process, and it was down to the second, whether it was going to GMC, Honda, Toyota, you name it. It was like everything was just like perfect, in order, on time. You know if it's late, you know if it's early, you know how many they did. It was so specific and it was so orderly, and like if you kind of describing it wouldn't do the justice of what we saw and how many operations were going on at one time. So I just thought that was super cool.
I think it's like such a unique opportunity that we were like able to go do this, and I think like a lot of people maybe don't know what they want to do after high school. I think it's like a great like door to walk through if you're unsure, and it's just like something that's kind of like easy to get into, I guess, like something it's kind of like behind the scenes, and it's just something that I feel like is great for every student to know that they can definitely do.
Yeah, so for me, my dad has worked at Gentex for as long as I've been born, or since I've been born. So I was familiar with the company, but like not super familiar. So I wanted to learn more, and engineering has been the field that I've been like planning on going into, just because of my dad and we think alike. So I've just been that's like been my plan is to go into engineering, but I hadn't like toured or done anything like hands-on with an engineering company. So when I saw Gentex pop up on my email, I was like, yeah, I'll try that out. And I knew my dad worked there, so I was familiar, but then when I actually toured it, I got a better, like, just a hands-on, in-person idea of what the company was all about. It was really, really cool and kind of solidified that I want to go into that. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to share a little bit. If you have any questions, we will gladly could respond to those. Otherwise, just a little bit about Discover Manufacturing.
see your dad when you went to his?
I did actually, he's right here.
Yeah.
One of the stops at, IE, he did a little presentation for us, so.
Did he take you out to lunch or anything?
Nope, it was not, it was earlier, so.
Maybe next time.
Yep.
I actually have a picture of this.
Back when I was a kid, we used to we used to go visit him for lunch there, so.
Well, thanks, Mr. Seisman, for not only finding these opportunities for Gentex and others that really bring our kids in. The three of you speak very, I mean, I know you're in high school, but you don't present yourself like you're in high school. It's always fun to watch. And this is a great opportunity, so thanks for all of your effort. And for at least the three of you volunteering to come here to be here tonight, so thanks.
Who was the best speaker?
I do have a quick question. So besides engineering, did Isaiah, and I forgot what your name was, Kate, did you see other, job opportunities, revealed as you were going through the plant? And what would they have been?
There was a bunch of like,
That was that tunnel when we walked out into the machinery. No, that was, kind of the locker room going out. Remember, we went to those two bays?
yeah,
And it's just kind of walking out.
yeah, there were a multitude of different, like, there's so many behind the scenes opportunities where even if you weren't running a machine, somebody's gotta code something, somebody's gotta watch, supervise, test the product. So I think there were a lot more opportunities and doors behind doors that people just don't know about. Yeah, they even told us about like how they assemble their own robots and stuff there, so there's stuff like that as well.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was getting at, so great, I'm glad you were able to see those other options.
We didn't take any pictures on the manufacturing floor, but this is kind of the tunnel leading in, and we put our safety glasses on. We actually went out on the manufacturing floor in separate groups, went to some what they call bays where they're producing product, and we stood around and were able to, you know, be around product being made and told about some of the different jobs that were on the floor.
Did you see products that you can't talk about?
No, we did not.
Didn't show that.
Might not trust us.
Chad, in this environment of AI and the changing dynamics of the workforce, are you giving your kids any recommendations that are different than you might have a year ago, or is it evolving so quickly you're not even sure what to point to?
I think it's the latter there. It's evolving so quickly, it's a little bit challenging what to say and where to go.
Sure.
I think we're trying to learn AI at the same time they're learning AI. We're all kind of joining in this together. Separate from this, in our CDE program, we have had some discussions with some of our business and industry council that comes in and supports us about what AI looks like and how it operates in the business world, seeking their input on how really it's helping students understand how they would use AI. And it's really good with data and data sets and see if they'll be the right prompts and to pull out of that data using AI. So we're just kind of like starting down that way.
And because I know over the years, you're gonna, when I was talking to people, okay, you can go into finance, because there's always, but now they're starting to lop off positions there and going into AI, and it's just very fluid right now.
Yeah. I think the key will be recognizing AI as your partner, being at a point where you're able to help businesses understand you can use AI to help benefit the business versus just AI being the business. So yeah. But not directly as far as.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you very much, Chad.
Good luck in your exam.
And next, we've got the Knights of Columbus presentation, and Michael, is it Zomerly? Zomerly, it's gonna. Randy?
Hi, yes, I'm Mike Zomerly. I'm the Grand Knight of the Knights of Columbus Council for Jenison. We're at Holy Redeemer. The Grand Knight is similar to a CEO of a company. We have 232 members in our council. It's a a men's fraternal Catholic organization where the Knights of Columbus is actually the largest Catholic fraternal organization in the world with 5.6 million members. And so I'm head of the local council here, and we love to give back to the community. And every year we do this MI drive, and you'll see us with our little safety vests on, usually standing at Family Fair, Gemmons, and sometimes Walmart. And we'll be handing out Tootsie Rolls. And so another name of it is our Tootsie Roll Drive. And all the funds that are raised from that go to our state council, and then it comes back to us. And the state council collects 10% of that and gives it to Michigan Special Olympics. And then we get to just determine what we want to do with the rest of our funds when it comes back to us, so the other 90%. And we have a check to present to Hudsonville Public Schools for your special education program for a little over $2,000. And if you guys ever want a great fish fry, we'll have fish fries at Holy Redeemer Church, and starting in February, and that runs till March. So if you're ever looking for great fish, come do that. And then if you ever see our guys doing the Tootsie Roll drives, feel free to drop a couple bucks on that, because the money gets distributed between you guys, Jenison Public Schools, and Maggie B Cafe. So.
Oh, awesome, that's great.
Do you mind if we do a quick picture?
Sure.
Sure, I was just gonna say, we are so grateful for your annual donation. Last year, we were able to send a couple different of our secondary programs to a couple community events, one of which was the Whitecaps game all together, and the kids, especially that like cotton candy and sports in general, just really thrived. And just to know that there's community partners that really want to see students participate as much as they can in their communities and to thrive, it's nice to know that we have that partnership. And I was telling Michael that my own kids participated in the Tootsie Roll Drive last year, and they loved it as a little competition, because a man comes up in the envelope and like will tell you, oh, you're in the lead, you're in the lead. So that was very, very exciting, and we are just very, very appreciative. So thank you.
And we always do the Tootsie Roll contest the weekend after Easter. So.
Thank you. Okay, now we will look for recognition of visitors. And we don't have any visitors. That's everybody's leaving. Where are they going? Okay, then we'll go to the consent agenda, and we have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Barb? All right, thank you very much. I can't get another. Do we have a second? Andrew? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next we're gonna go to the regular action agenda, and we're gonna turn it over to Dr. Vanderjack for the board policy update.
Yeah, just a few policy updates we reviewed in the work session. There are no changes based on the work session, so the recommendation is as presented for those policies to be updated. Go into effect tomorrow, which will then impact, as we mentioned, the student handbooks at the secondary level, and we'll get that out to the buildings if approved tonight.
Okay, so do we have board policy approved the following board policy revisions as presented by Dr. Vanderjack? Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Dawn, do we have a second?
Support.
Joy? And do we, any discussion? Okay, I'd like to thank the policy committee once again. They've done a whole lot of work and continue to do work, and it's very helpful to the rest of us to get your input, and so thank you very much. Do we have all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. And next we'll go to the report items, Dr. Vandergrift.
We'll start with our student council update. Evan.
Alright. Alright, student council's doing lots of great things. We had our blood drive a few weeks ago, had about 100 people come, which is a pretty good turnout for one of our first ones of the school year. Bus driver appreciation is next week Thursday, it's all next week, but we are going out next week Thursday during seminar to bring them some gift cards because they like to go out during their breaks, and go to places like McDonald's and Big B to just hang out and have a little downtime. We did order a new Eagle mascot because those are getting a little old and rusty. We don't want to make the Eagles wear those rough ones, so we got a new one of those. And then we are attending Project Nightlight, which is where student council members are going downtown and we bring different lights and costumes and stuff, and we go to the Children's Hospital and the Cancer Center, and we just have like a big light show, and there's lots of different, there's different like fire trucks and EMS vehicles, and it's just like a big light show, so it's a lot of fun. They went to the state finals in Detroit at Ford Field, and they placed 9th, so we're very proud of them. The choirs had their annual retreat at Grace Adventures. We had a lot of fun there, talent show, and lots of bonding, so that was lots of fun for us. And this weekend we are sending some kids to Solon Ensemble, where we are basically competing in front of a judge to get feedback and improve our voices as singers. It is exam week. I have a physics exam tomorrow. Not excited about that, but you know, we're toughing it out. And then we have new classes starting next week, so that's really exciting for us. And then let's see, football is doing obviously very incredibly. Playoffs against East Kentwood on Saturday. And then volleyball, they've also been doing really amazing, but their season ended on Tuesday. Thank you. In a hard-fought battle against Rockford. And the soccer team, their season ended recently as well, I believe. And they were district champs, I believe, as well. And I was also really excited recently to see Blake Harms back with his school closing predictions. So
That's really exciting.
Makes one of you.
it's really exciting for me.
Great.
I believe that is it for me.
No, I think you were part of the foundation, singing it with the choir there.
I was,
You
yes.
guys did a fantastic job. That was
amazing.
wonderful. A lot of comments from people about how well you did. And I was talking to Dr. Vanderjack earlier today about his attitude towards Blake, and sometimes it comes
Well,
across
hold on.
anyway, so I've asked him to tone it down just a little bit. Anyway.
Thanks, Evan. I know we have a water polo this weekend at the state, and then swimming will be next weekend, the first day competition, pretty good. Some updates from the building. We will start with Mr. Walby at, Mrs. Thomas, can you pass your microphone? Thank you. Mr. Walby at Georgetown.
Not sure if it's
Push the button. Oh, it's not on.
Yeah, I can probably talk. Thank you guys for the update. I'll start with, I'm hoping to bring her at some point this year, but she's probably not ready yet to be outside of like her trained area, but we started with our first Hudsonville hound, I think is what we're calling him, our school dog. Her name is Rue, and she is doing a great job. Thus far, we've had her for about a month now, a little over that. And she goes home every day with me and comes back, which is awesome. And I tell people it's just like the rest of the kids at school. They're a lot better behaved at school than they are at home, which is great. But no, she's good at home too. Just a little example of like some of the things she does. Like right one of the first days we had her, I had a kindergartner that was just not ready for, I think she was transitioning to specials, and I did all I could to get her down to the gym and thought I had her right where I needed to, and I opened the door, and then she just collapsed and started crying again, and by that point I was getting pretty frustrated. Matt Cooley, who's my PBIS person, was standing right there, and he goes, "You want me to try?" And I go, "Yeah, I've been with her for 20 minutes, it's not working." And so he tries it. About 5 minutes later, he walks in the office and goes, "You got her that quick?" And he goes, "Well, sort of." And I go, "Well, what happened?" He goes, "I asked her if she wanted to go see Rue for a minute." And so we walked in the library, and she petted Rue for a second. Rue licked her hand, she giggled, and we walked in the gym, she went in. I go, "All right, well, she's better than us." So we kind of use it for stuff like that, and it works great. So a couple other things this week. One where Rue has helped out again. We had an interesting start to our day yesterday where right when the kids were coming in, we had the fire alarm go off and figured it was probably something not super serious. It turns out it wasn't, but at the same time, we found out where it was, opened a door, and there was a ton of smoke. So Georgetown Fire showed up, and it was a burned out motor, but it caused a lot of the smoke. But again, Rue helped us out with that. We had a few kids that were a little anxious about just a weird start to the day. So she's great for things like that where, especially with young kids, they don't necessarily know how to talk about things, but they can just kind of sit and either talk as they're petting her, or just that just kind of helps them get that out. And then one other cool thing that we had today, today was World Kindness Day. So in conjunction with that and a local author who is also a grandparent in our building, she's published a few books. She has a new book out called Hank's Change of Heart. It's a cute little kid book about a boy that collects hearts, and then he learns that it's actually great for him to give them away. So we had all of our kids go outside, and they had created their own hearts or colored them, and we had a big countdown, and they all exchanged hearts, and she was there to kind of help document that. And it's also our hope it's going to be a new world record, and there's like the Guinness Book of World Records, but there's also this thing called like Kid World Records. So I didn't tell them that it's only like a kid world record and the Guinness Book of World Records thing, but it's like the most kids like exchanging hearts like at one time in one place. So they were really excited about that today, and so we started our day with that today too, a nice way to share kindness. So
Thanks. Let's go to Jamestown Lower, Mr. Bailey.
So back in October, we had our walkathon. PTA ran that, and we are so thankful to have such an amazing PTA. We raised a little over $20,000 for Jamestown Lower. PTA helps with supporting teachers in the classroom with supplies, making sure that all students are able to go on field trips. Next week we have parent-teacher conferences. They bring food in so teachers can have a good meal before they have those long nights. So big thanks to our Jamestown PTA for all that they do for staff, community, and our kids. We're at that time of year where the beginning of the year when we kind of front load with our SOAR expectations and hand out SOAR cards is kind of fading a little bit. So we tried to incorporate some new ways to keep it fresh. We've introduced SOAR specials cards. So as a classroom, students go there, and then the special teachers kind of give them this larger SOAR card, and they try to earn a certain number of them. I think we have like 8, 16, 24 different tiers. And once they earn it as a class, then they earn I think we have bendy pencils or something else. They lost their minds and they sell the pencils to them. So they're really excited about that. In the cafeteria, we have like stuffed animal eagles. Again, the classes work together on the soaring on the playground, walking in the hallways, and then each week the class that soared the highest earns the stuffed animal, and they love it because they get to walk around with this eagle all day long to the library, bring it to the cafeteria. So it's really cool. So other adults are like, "Oh, you guys must have been the ones soaring." Like, yeah. And then finally we have this plastic case that every Friday the students dump their own SOAR cards in. Second grade has a SOAR store, so we dump this whole pile in. And once we fill this whole glass case up, we have a SOAR celebration. So we're like that close to having a big celebration. I think the first one is like a dance party in the gym. We turn the lights up. We have glow sticks and stuff. It's pretty cool. Kids love it. So that's what's going on at Jamestown Lower.
Thank you very much. Head to Riley Street with Mr. Bear.
We're going just across the parking lot here, so. Yeah, kind of in the same vein, this is a long stretch of school. I think everyone kind of is feeling it at this point. My voice is still feeling whatever's going around middle school and so we're fighting all those things, but just kind of off of what Pete was talking a little bit with the SOAR store, we've actually started that this year, kind of taking inspiration from so many other groups that have gotten it going, and it's really cool to see kids. I think SOAR cards for us used to be like a drawing, And now it feels like they're like valuable. I feel like maybe we've started a little bit of a black market, like underground selling of things, and is this really your signature? So we're not doing bendy pencils, but Starbucks gift cards go a long way, and we've got a lot of parent support with that too. We have parent-teacher conferences next week as well. Shout out to our PTO, Kelsey Jennison, who's right here, who's just helping us at Riley get this going. And we're just so thankful that there's just parents that want to surround kids when they're 12, 13, and 14. Because once they get out of elementary and get to hang out with us, it's a little different. For parent-teacher conferences, I'm going to say this is just a point of pride for us. Our diagnostic team, so what used to be PBIS, MTSS, counselors, and everybody else in the office, we'd get around our kids that were on what we call the critical list. Kids that were failing 2 or more classes, and then just went out and tried to basically sign parents up before that went out to everybody else. I'm looking at Joy Hemis over there, who I know was asking why are there no signups available. So I'm going to give some statistics here. I'm a socialist guy, but I'm going to do my best. Kathy Teal can check my mail or check my math on this. I had 26 core teachers at Riley, so there's 82 slots available for parents to sign up for a 5-minute time slot. So total 2,132 time slots. Out of those currently with our core teachers, we only have 122 left. So we were able to basically book 2,010 parents, which is 94% filled. So that was just like kind of, I don't know, a lot of parents that I think struggle with that technology. I think a lot of our parents are really good and can get on and go. But we just made it a priority for the kids that were on our critical list to say these are kids that need to be in front of our teachers, and made that one of the things. So second thing, we just finished up Q1, so we went on our Eagle Renaissance list. Miss Vandenberg has an honorary sticker for you. So she's gonna pass those out. Yeah, you get to be on Eagle Renaissance, congratulations. These stickers are designed by our 6th graders, which then helps the buy-in for them a little bit on that. So right now we have, again, I'm throwing math out, 278 6th, 7th, and 8th graders that qualify for the blue level. And then we also have 134 kids that are on gold, so 62% of our kids at Riley have a 3.5 or better, minimal amount of absences, life skills proficient or better, and no behavior referrals. So that was just really cool to celebrate with those. The kids love the sticker thing and the rewards that go with it. It's very similar to what the high school does from there. I think the only other thing I'm going to mention, last week or 2 weeks ago, we had PD on the 31st. Just a packed day, I think, for our teachers to go through, but I'm just thankful for Mandy, Melissa, our central office team. Just a lot of work went into that. But our team just really resonated with a lot of things, from not only just dyslexia, but responding to bias incidents. I think that's hard to talk about, but it's something our staff kept coming back to, is like, we need to be talking about this because it happens. And I think one of the big things our staff took away was silence is harmful. So just a shout out to the DAC for the work that they're doing to recognize, to bring this stuff forward, and to make it a part of it, because our middle school kids need to learn that. So a couple other things, but middle school's going, so yeah. Mr. Bear? Yeah. Mr. Bear?
Thanks, and I totally agree. Just a quick echo about the 1031 PD. It was very powerful, especially in the morning, tackling some of those things with our high school staff, and the feedback we got on the forums was really positive around it. So it's something that we'll probably revisit at some point again this school year. So thanks for the awesome update, Evan, from the high school. Just a couple additional things. I got to go on the Gentex visit with Mr. Seitzma and the crew of students, so I really got to see firsthand the same things they did and ask some questions and maybe plant some questions. And I knew that they were a large employer. I didn't know they were the biggest employer in Iowa County. I knew that they made rear view mirrors and whatever that means, but it's a lot more that goes into it with the video backup systems. They also make windows for airplanes that automatically dim. The coolest thing I saw that I wanted in my car right now was like a glass sun visor that would dim, from all the way fully dark to just a little bit like a sunglasses situation, which was really cool. So there were a lot of things there that kids got to see that were pretty futuristic, and just see a different path like the kids kind of shared already. So that was really cool. I'm glad Chad was able to organize that. It was a meaningful visit. Speaking of Blake Harms, HEF Gala was just last week, early in the week, right? So we had a great time there recognizing our students and their staff mentors that they nominated to come to the gala with them. They raised a pretty substantial amount of money, so thanks to our new executive director, Lacey Dixon, and the team and the board for putting on another great event there.
and the Eagles of Excellence honorees for the alumni were very impressive as well. It is exam week, one more exam to go tomorrow for the half day, and it adds to a little kind of buzz at the school, anxiety a little bit, but also excitement that the end of the trimester is near and starting new classes next trimester. Like we already talked about, fall season's a lot of them coming to an end, but we're still playing football on Saturday. I think you probably heard of it. It's gonna be a big game, and it should be pretty exciting, so hopefully you can come out and support the Eagles. And then the last thing that we maybe haven't mentioned, I know you went kind of quick and have a big list, but the fall play wrapped up last week and weekend, and I got a chance to see it, and they put on a great show. It's really impressive to see, and not every student's gonna be a starting varsity athlete, but to see them really shine in the things that they're passionate about, including a play like Our Town, which is kind of dialogue heavy. It was just really impressive to see them, and they did a wonderful job. So it's been a good fall at the high school, so thank you.
Any questions for our building leaders? I'll give a quick update, and I'll ask central office to save their update for the next meeting when they get to have more. Just a reminder, our December 11 meeting to the board, I know you got an update, will start at 4 p.m. on that Thursday, and our building principals are excused from that meeting. I know, you're all thinking.
This is really sad.
I know. You all have at least one concert that you get to attend the month of December, so there's your night. So on the 11th, we'll start at 4 p.m. That is also the night of Shop with a Hero. That takes place at Meyer, so after the board meeting, if you have time, you want to stop by. It's just, you walk around Meyer and you see our kids shopping with a hero, getting gifts for family members and for themselves. It's pretty neat event. So, I know Melissa Bernard, Mike Petroli, have a lot to do with organizing a lot of special events that take place over the holidays. So that's another event. This morning, Mr. Shemansky, and there he is, Mr. Gillette, who was in the back of the room to watch his son present, but then snuck out, and some teachers from Forest Grove, as well as Mr. Chansky and myself had a chance to go to Lansing to celebrate the Blue Ribbon status for Forest Grove, so that was exciting. It was their first time celebrating that in Lansing because it's always been in Washington, D.C. So it was a packed house. They also had a very lengthy agenda. It started at 9:30. My understanding is they are still meeting.
They just ended.
They just ended. So it was a little bit longer than this meeting hopefully will be. But yeah, so it was a great day to celebrate Forest Grove. And I know there's a lot of people. I know John led the effort. A lot of help from the staff that was there, the staff in the building, and the community, and the kids. It was just neat to celebrate the buildings. And it was also impressive that there were 4 schools from Ottawa County that were recognized. Of the 13 schools in the state, 4 of them were from Ottawa County, which is nice. There was only 2 from County, so I was just throwing that out. On another very serious note, also unrelated to the success of Forest Grove, I updated the board quite a bit on the 31A funding in the discussion. Because of the how this is laying out, there were about 40 districts, mostly ISDs, that did file a lawsuit against the language of 31AA. I'll give you more of an update, but this is kind of a summary regarding the funding, the constitutionality of it, and so forth. We hope to have more information prior to Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, the deadline is the Sunday night of Thanksgiving weekend. So I did ask the board, I think everybody's gotten back to us now, that we might have to have a meeting on that Tuesday morning to make a decision, even if that decision changes between then and that Sunday night. I do not plan on filing anything with the state until the deadline, if that deadline is in place on that Sunday night. So if you can leave that open, I would love to say we need everybody there. We do. It would be very helpful to have everybody there. It won't be a long meeting, but I'll try to give as much information so that you can have those, just know what you're voting on for that when it gets to that point. So that meeting on the 25th will be at 7:30 a.m. And no, you don't have to come to that meeting either until the principals are at school. And go from there. So that's my update tonight.
Okay, and I think we've had 5 people already respond saying that they'd be available on that Tuesday morning, so we should be all set there. Like to, Joy, do you have anything you'd like to add, or?
Oh, man, I attended, it was my first time attending the HEF Gala, as well as my first time attending a Hudsonville football game, in this last couple of weeks. Thoroughly enjoyed both, it was amazing, just so proud of the community and, especially the HEF Gala was so fun to see, and hear just all these amazing stories of graduates and where they've gone and the roots that they have in the community. And then just big thanks to Mandy for, I've only heard great things about that training and just kind of the outflow of the DAC, and appreciate your hard work in that. Sounds like it was, everyone really enjoyed it, so I'm very grateful. And I think, that was it.
I just wanted to thank Dr. Vanderjack and Robin for including the holiday schedule in our board briefs.
Yeah.
So we know where we can go and when, so thank you.
There's a lot. December.
There's a lot.
It's funny, there are 2 days in December that are not, full, and they're both board meeting days, the first and the 11th. So, yeah.
It's a full page, so thank you.
Yes. And in case we don't see all of you before Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, enjoy that long weekend with your families. We appreciate you. Thank you.
You're good. I just have a few things that I wanna make sure that we're all set on. We sent out the superintendent evaluation information, and we want that all turned in, or make sure that everybody's got it completed by the 21st. And just let me know when you get that completed. If you have any questions or anything for Dr. Vanderjack, get those to him as soon as possible. And also the blue ribbon recognition this morning was wonderful, and I want to thank you for inviting me, Dr. Vanderjack. I had an excellent time there, and it was nice to be recognized as a school. Also, I was at the DAC meeting earlier this week, the first one we've had in a while, and very impressive. And I told the group that I was very impressed by the presentations that were made, the thought that's gone into the things that are being done. Mandy, the way you ran the meeting was wonderful. And then the feedback that we got from the teachers, or I think it was, the average was a 4.85 out of 5, I assume, right? So that's wonderful, and I did have the opportunity to talk to a couple of the teachers this morning on the way to Lansing, and they were impressed with what we saw there. So as building principals, I want to thank you for your efforts in helping to lead those discussions, because those are very, very important discussions. And obviously the feedback we're getting from our teachers is, the more comfortable they feel on that, the easier it's going to be for them to address those situations. So I just want to thank all of you who are involved in that. That was very, very good. And I told my wife that we'd be done at 6:50, so I only have 12 more minutes. Anyway, so those are the things that I had for today. And once again, as Dr. Vanderjack says so often, and what we heard today in Lansing was just how excellent we are doing as a district. And you are the leaders. And so we thank you very much for how you lead each one of your buildings. So that's all I have. So I'm looking at the agenda here, and the only thing that's left is the adjournment portion of it. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Dawn?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a second?
Support.
Barb, all right. Any discussion? You guys think I can't stand to anyway, any discussion? Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're done. Thank you.